And as a young man, he was summoned to the wars. Spent his best years with blood on his hands.
Hey guys, it's HomoMoto. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Pretty recently, I had a new subscriber ask me about the Bankrupt. Is this the end of HomoMoto video that I done a little while ago? And I figured since a couple people have asked me about this, I'd go ahead and cover this topic. Because, I mean, I guess people want to know. I haven't talked about it a whole lot. I've covered it in a couple of videos, but hadn't really focused on it. Hadn't made it a video topic, and I've been kind of wanting to just get over it and move on. But I've had a couple of people ask, and the guy that asked, the sub that asked, he was sincere, you know, so I figured if he wants to know, maybe a few other people want to know too. So I'll kind of give you the background behind why it happened and what all happened and where am I at now. I had been at the same company for about 14 years, and I had been having health problems for the last couple of years there, but I liked my job, I was dedicated to my job, so I just worked through it. And I had a cyst pop up on my leg, and it was pretty bad. It was real deep too. So I went to the doctor, they looked at it and they said this has got to be cut out immediately, biopsy. So I'm like, okay, but it was really deep into the muscle tissue on my calf, so that put me out of commission for a while. I'm a big guy, and that don't help matters much with getting around, you know, not at 100% or not even at 80%. Plus, you know, healing on bigger people is not the same as it is someone that's not. So they cut this cyst out of my leg, sent it off for biopsy, and it was not cancerous, thank God. But while this was healing, I had to stay home. I was off work for weeks, not days, weeks. And during that time, I even had home health care coming in because the wound was not healing like it was supposed to. They actually had stuff that they were putting in my leg to make the flesh grow back, to fill in the hole, basically, that they cut into my leg. There was a big chunk of my calf muscle, too, so very painful, very hard to get around, but I still did fine. I just couldn't work my job because my work required a lot of physical movement around, and half my job was administration, but half of it was physical, helping my team members out. I was a team lead at the pharmaceutical company. So that being said, it was difficult to impossible for me to continue doing what I was doing. So I was on STD, short-term disability. Everything was going fine. It was getting real close for time for me to come back to work, and I noticed I started having chest pain. And I kind of blew it off as, you know, hey, maybe it's just the fact that I've been laying around for a couple weeks. But it kept getting intensively worse. And right about the same time, my back started hurting real bad. Now, I knew I had a bad back from way back, but I've been dealing with it. I'm not one to take narcotic pain pills, so I wasn't. I was taking, what was I taking? 800 milligram Motrin. And I was also taking muscle relaxer called Skloxin. And I guess I was moving around a lot, so it didn't bother me as bad. But me laying around, it started really hurting. And it got to where the pain was unbearable, so I went to the doctor about that. They done a bunch of MRIs and stuff, and they found that I had degenerative disc disease, had a herniated disc, and one disc had a slight crack in it. So I guess I had a broke back. How ironic, considering that, you know, I'm gay and I had a broke back, you know, mountain. That was a very odd movie. I actually did not enjoy that movie. I thought it was, I don't know, weird. But anyway, my neck had always bothered me too, but again, I was moving around, working through it, you know, and I just ignored it. But my neck started hurting as well. Keep in mind, you know, I'm laying around pretty much not doing much of anything for a minute. So went to the doctor. They MRI'd my neck, and they said you've got a herniated disc in your neck and some kind of the nerves were pinched off a little bit. So they told me I was going to have neck and back surgery. Well, I'm like, that's going to put me out of work for a while. So I applied for long-term disability through my job, being the new findings, and they turned me down. I was making enough to pay my bills with short-term disability, but without being able to roll over into long-term, I couldn't keep surviving on no income, because I went down to 60% of my original income, but I was making decent money, so 60% of my income was enough to live on. But when they went from 60% to nothing, because in their opinion, a herniated disc and degenerative disc disease and all that other stuff, I should have been able to go back to work. So I talked to my doctor, and he said, against his better judgment, I'm going to let you go back with your cane. So I appealed that to them, and they said no. A cane is considered light duty, and we don't have light duty work here. Therefore, you're going to have to come back 100% with a doctor's release or not at all. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of the Americans with Disabilities Act, but me having a cane was not an issue, especially considering it wouldn't have hindered my job at all. But I went with it, and I applied for disability through the state of Alabama, and, you know, like everybody else, I was turned down. So I had no income coming in at all. But anyway, I filed for disability and was denied, and yes, I actually ended up filing bankruptcy. And I said on the video that I shot that I could end up losing everything, house, car, bike, everything. I was able to save my bike, obviously, but I did lose my car, and I did lose my my house. Now, I just recently found out that the judge approved me for disability, so I should be getting that any day now. But just to let y'all know, yes, that wasn't a setup video. I actually did file bankruptcy, and I did lose everything except for my bike. I've started over. I'm going to the flea market, by the way. I've started over and got an old Ford truck, and my family has been really great helping me out through this mess. So I'm not struggling per se, but once my disability kicks in, you know, full-heartedly, I will be just fine. Everyone says, well, if you can ride a bike, you can shoot videos, you can work full-time. It's how? Okay, a lot of people don't realize it takes me about an hour at the most to shoot enough video for a YouTube video, and anywhere from 30 minutes to 4 hours of editing. This one won't take much to get the video ready for YouTube. So I put out 1 to 2 videos per week. That's a total of, what, 10 hours per week? How am I supposed to survive on that? And it's not like the same as getting up and going to a job, you know, 6-7 days a week. It's just not the same. Anyway, I just want to address the issue that was asked, and that's where I'm at. That's what happened. I did lose everything but my bike, and I'm starting to build back up. I'm actually getting around a little bit now, but my heart has progressively gotten worse. My back isn't getting any better, and it's another reason why I can't do long rides anymore. But if y'all have any questions, you can shoot me some comments or send me an email, message me on one of the social medias I have. That's all I got for this one. I love y'all, and roll tide.
I was a storm, and I passed right over you, and I tried to eclipse the sun. in the hopes that you love the tumult and spray in your face, and the sky broken by